Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, once again, let's head outside and take a look outside our weather window where this afternoon, the clouds stuck around a lot more than when we originally had thought. This morning we thought we might see mostly sunny skies today, but those low clouds kind of hung around and that kept our temperature down a bit, but still a beautiful shot. From our Sky-Fi tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights, our cross camera looking down at the Wenatchee Valley, and just a beautiful day today, a typical winter day. And as we move through the rest of the week and into the weekend, kind of quiet weather too, except tomorrow. We could see a chance for some light snow. I think it'll be a rain-snow mix if we see anything here. I think most of that will be on a line south of Interstate 90. I'll talk more about that in the weather segment. Saturday, dry, and it will be colder. Sunday, we're going to get both. Some more snow and some colder weather. Your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A happy ending yesterday to the search for a missing man living with dementia. A Wenatchee man is accused of causing a vehicle crash that injured his 11-year-old passenger Saturday night. And Chelan County reported its 39th COVID-19 death yesterday, a man in his 80s. But first, we begin tonight. A Bridgeport man is accused of following a woman through a dark Bridgeport alley and lunging at her with a knife. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies arrested Christopher Rodriguez last Saturday for the incident, which was reported on January 13th. The woman said she was walking between 14th Street and Douglas Avenue about 10:30 p.m. when Rodriguez followed her, threatened to kill her, and made a stabbing motion with a knife that came within 2 or 3 feet of her. She ran for safety at a nearby house, and residents there called police. Rodriguez did not admit any wrongdoing. Deputies say they'll seek a charge of first-degree assault. Well, a happy ending yesterday to the search for a missing man living with dementia. He was quickly found after wandering away from his home. 73-year-old Gene Allen Stevens was accompanied by his dog when he went missing from the Stone Ridge Drive area. The East Wenatchee man was under care for severe Alzheimer's disease. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office said Stevens was reported missing at about 4:09 p.m., but was located just after 6 p.m., less than an hour after the public alert went out. Sheriff's deputies said he returned home safe and sound. A Wenatchee man is accused of causing a vehicle crash that injured his 11-year-old passenger Saturday night. 31-year-old Schuler Stephen Lee faces a possible charge of vehicular assault. Wenatchee police say Lee crashed his own vehicle into a parked car in the 1400 block of Okanagan Avenue. That was about 7 p.m. The child suffered a concussion in the wreck, and police said Lee showed signs of impairment. He was scheduled to make his first appearance yesterday in Chelan County Superior Court. Chelan County reported its 39th COVID-19 death yesterday, a man in his 80s. The Chelan Douglas Health District said the man died earlier this month, but an announcement was delayed until it was confirmed it was a coronavirus-caused death. New COVID-19 cases have been on the decline in the two-county region for the past few weeks. The health district reported this morning that the rate of cases over the past 2 weeks took another big drop to 475 per 100,000 population. That's down from 635 cases per 100,000 reported a week ago. In mid-September, the rate peaked at more than 1,000 cases per 100,000 population over the previous 14 days. The number of people hospitalized with the virus also has been declining in the past week, with 28 COVID-19 patients currently at Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee. That's down from a peak of 37 patients about 2 weeks ago. Confluence Health said 11 of those patients are in the intensive care unit. Coming up next, the Grant County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about a man posing as a sheriff's deputy and a woman posing as Child Protective Services agent who may be planning criminal activity. The city of East Wenatchee has launched an online effort to keep its finances transparent for the public. Okanagan County has a new chief prosecutor. And record-setting crowds continue to cause big parking messes at snow parks in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest, with forest officials now advising people to save their trips for weekdays. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today. Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. In another news, the Grant County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about a man posing as a sheriff's deputy and a woman posing as Child Protective Services agent who may be planning criminal activity. The Sheriff's Office says the man and woman went to a home just outside Moses Lake on Monday, saying they were checking on children living there. The two asked permission to enter the home, but after the woman went back to their car, the homeowner became suspicious and denied the man entry to the home and then told him he was going to get his gun. The two then left in a gray Chevrolet Impala. The man is described as 6 feet 2 inches tall with a light brown complexion and brown crew-cut hair. The female is described as white, 170 pounds, with long brown hair and wearing a black dress with thick shoulder straps. Well, the city of East Wenatchee has launched an online effort to keep its finances transparent for the public. The city said this week it's contracted with ClearGov to create a new fiscal transparency center, which puts the city's financial picture all in one web service. You can visit the center through the city's own website for an easy-to-understand interactive breakdown of the city's finances, as well as insights into demographics and more. Okanagan County has a new chief prosecutor, Melanie Bailey, an East Wenatchee native who's worked as both a deputy prosecutor and a public defender. She took on the role this week, appointed by county commissioners. She replaces Arian Noma, who resigned in December, citing community racism and budget disputes with the county. In her interview with Okanagan County commissioners, Bailey said leadership will be the most important quality to bring to the office.
Your ability to help mentor new attorneys when they come into the office, your ability to manage staff, to manage an office, to work with other individuals. I've said this before, but you're not a one-man island up there. You need to make sure that you have an open door, open communication with everybody, and have those conversations. I'm not going to know everything, but that's why you have people on your team who do and who will help you. I have some familiarity with the budget, and that's something that I know other people have more familiarity with. And I'd ask them for help. I think that's important that we have very open communication and that you help each other. It has to be a team environment.
Record-setting crowds continue to cause big parking messes at snow parks in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest, with forest officials now advising people to save their trips for weekdays. Forest recreation areas have been overwhelmed much of the COVID-19 pandemic as throngs of people look for a close outdoor option for getting out of their homes. The Forest Service said with parking lots often full by 9 in the morning, people have been parking illegally on the roads leading to the snow parks, hindering access for emergency responders, snowplows, and residents. Especially under pressure this time are the Cabin Creek, Salmon Lissac, and Lake Catchis snow parks along Interstate 90, where tow trucks have been kept busy removing illegally parked vehicles. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, the COVID-19 shutdown has hit Wenatchee's Town Toyota Center especially hard this year. Being an entertainment facility dependent on large gatherings of people, its very reason for existence has been put on hold the past 10 months. In 2020, trade shows, sporting events, concerts, and more were all canceled. General Manager Mark Miller said much of what has been happening at the facility lately is related in some way to the pandemic, from being a shortage and distribution facility to a coronavirus testing facility and soon a vaccination site. But while that has helped, Miller says most of his employees are still without work and the economic benefits of the arena to the community have been lost.
We've gone from 145 employees. Some of those obviously, seasonal with either food service and or event services. And so those 145 dropped down to 9. We at one time had 14 full-time and went to 9 from there. We've since now dropped to 6. And the staff remaining has been on reduced hours, reduced pay since May of last summer. We have worked with several different organizations. Serve Wenatchee Valley has used this area to simply serve Wenatchee Valley through food distributions, and that was started in April and went all the way through December. Also, the Chelan Douglas Action Council has used us for the same process, where we had refrigerator trucks, semi-trucks on a daily basis, and that was 6 days a week, serving both counties. And we've also worked with Lifeline now, as we're doing testing for COVID testing in the parking lot. Currently, right now, you see we are storage for the sheriff's office for protective clothing and whatnot. Some of those have been on a rental basis through CARES Act with the county, which has enabled us to survive, because obviously there's no other income that's coming in other spaces. What's the demand going to be once we are open? You think, hey, we're all pent up, it's ready to go, come on, it's Styx is here next week. But is it going to be where, especially in the smaller arenas, where you've got, just use a number, 50% of the applicants or may say, hey, I'm still scared of crowds, I'm not going to go. Does it become a football back and forth of when that happens? So, vaccines could take care of a lot of that, but you don't know where, to mental aptitude is, and it's hard enough just to sell, a ticket to a general population. So those are questions too that's going to hit our industry on a pretty serious. The biggest opportunity the Town Toyota Center can bring is for the last 12 years, anywhere between $7 to $7.5 million of economic impact. It may look like invisible money. It's not. It's people that come to town or because of an event, go to a restaurant, you get gas, and that $7.5 million is obviously not taking place in 2020. Will it take place in 2021? Those are questions we don't know, and that is the biggest miss for the area.
All right, let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And as we always do, let's take a look at how things look this afternoon before the darkness set in. Beautiful shot from our Sky-Fi tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights, our cross camera looking down at the beautiful Wenatchee Valley. We did see plenty of cloudiness, kind of some filtered sunshine today, and that really kept our temperature down. We thought we might get closer to 40, but we stayed closer to 35. In fact, look at those numbers today. It doesn't happen very often where our high today and low this morning exactly where we should be for this time of year, 35 and 25. Record 52 degrees. That was set back in 1967. Record low, a chilly 2 below zero in 1962. Sunrise 7:39 this morning, and the sunset this afternoon at 4:45. As we take a look now at your Thursday forecast, very, very quiet and steady as she goes. Weather as we head into the end of the week. Temperatures tomorrow a lot like today. Upper 30s in the Columbia Basin, 37 for Quincy, 36 in Wenatchee. Lake Wenatchee, the cool spot at 30 degrees tomorrow. Lake Chelan at 36, and Omak, your high of 35 tomorrow. Tonight, we can expect mostly cloudy skies. Not much to talk about. It'll be a lot like today with some very quiet weather tonight, but a steady flow of clouds will move in overnight. Just a tiny area of low pressure here, and another one right there. You can see the circulation. That'll kick maybe some showers our way tomorrow. We thought most of those may stay south, but we are going to say about a 40% chance. I think will be a rain-snow mix in the Wenatchee Valley and Columbia Basin. And then as we get into Friday, quiet once again. Mostly sunny skies. It will really be our last mild day, which means temperatures above normal. On Friday, we should get into the upper 30s. And then on Saturday, sunny in the morning. It should be a decent day throughout, mostly cloudy by afternoon, but we will see cooler temperatures on Saturday with highs then only in the mid-30s. Temperatures once again depending on this flow. And look at this northwest flow of air coming in by Sunday. That's when we will really feel the cooler air. Also a 30% chance of snow with high temperatures generally upper 20s and lower 30s as we get into Sunday. For Monday, as we kick off another work week, back to the quiet weather, at least for now. Partly cloudy on Monday. It will stay cool. Area of low pressure is continuing to slide south, but that northerly flow of air continues to move in. So we're going to stay cool on Tuesday of next week as well with partly cloudy skies. And jumping ahead from Tuesday into the next Friday, much colder air and a pretty good area of snow moving our way as well. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Tonight we'll drop down to 31 degrees, so a little more mild tonight with the cloud cover. 36 tomorrow, a 40% chance of a rain-snow mix. We could see maybe a half inch of snow or so by the end of the day. Mostly sunny then on Friday and Saturday, mid-30s to upper 30s, before we see a big cool down as we get to the end of the weekend on Sunday with a 30% chance of snow. High on Sunday, 32, and then lower to mid-30s for both Monday and Tuesday under partly cloudy skies. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom. Also more coming up for you as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing. and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. Athletic directors in our area released a tentative varsity football schedule on Tuesday, taking a cue from the WIAA's restart plan following the governor's Healthy Washington initiative, creating 8 regions in the state. The decision was made in North Central Washington to do away with classifications. As a result, 25 schools are packed into the NCW region. After practicing a couple of weeks, 3 jamborees will kick off the schedule on Saturday, February 27th. Brewster, Tonasket, Oroville, Chelan, and Omak play at Wenatchee with groups of games starting at 3 and at 6:30. Same schedule, Lake Roosevelt, Manson, Walook, Eastmont, and Cashmere gather in Quincy. Moses Lake would host Okanagan, Ephrata, Warden, Cascade, and Royal. The first night of varsity games would be on Friday, March 5th, with all games kicking off at 7 o'clock. Schedule has Moses Lake at Wenatchee, Eastmont at Royal, Walook hosting Ephrata, Cashmere at Quincy, Chelan taking on Cascade, Omak at Okanagan, Brewster traveling to Manson, Lake Roosevelt at Tonasket, and Oroville and Warden looking for a neutral site. Well, we are particularly excited because here at the NCWLIFE channel, we finally have a schedule for broadcasts. Our tentative schedule consumes 5 weeks beginning March 5th and running through April 2nd. Our opening night broadcast will be Moses Lake and Wenatchee. Following week would be the first 2 meetings between Wenatchee and Eastmont, this March 12th at Wildcat Stadium. Then we'd bring you the Pear Bowl for the first time ever on NCWLIFE, Friday, March 19th with Cascade at Cashmere. That would be followed by Ephrata at Eastmont March 26th, and finally Eastmont at Wenatchee on April 2nd. The rest of the season 1 or fall sports season is expected to be out Friday, and when it's available, NCWLIFE will fill in our dates for soccer, volleyball, and maybe even some swimming at Eastmont Aquatic Center. Well, looking ahead, the WIAA Executive Board voted yesterday to switch seasons 2 and 3, flip-flop the traditional spring and winter sports. Now, traditional spring sports will be in season 2, which begins with practice on March 15th, ends on May 1st. Winter sports becomes season 3 and will start with practice April 26th and conclude on June 12th. Now, these guidelines and dates are a framework, but the WIAA also granted local schools, leagues, and regions to do what works for them. WIAA Executive Director Mick Hoffman said, quote, based on the risk levels assigned to traditional winter activities compared with traditional spring activities, the board made the decision that those spring activities will have the opportunity to play much earlier than the winter activities, end quote. Speaking of quotes, let's get on to basketball. I reached out to Cashmere grad Haley Van Lith for her reaction to her college team, Louisville, being ranked number 1 for the first time in program history. She said, quote, I would just say that I have received a lot of support and love from people back home, and I'm so grateful. Also that we plan on staying at 1, end quote. Haley and the Cardinals host the number 23 Syracuse Orange Women, I guess it would be, tomorrow at 6 o'clock on ESPN2. The men's basketball hardwood hits the floor tonight. Washington hosts Colorado in a Pac-12 matchup. That game at 6. Game has been picked up and will be broadcast on ESPN2, by the way. Washington State hosts Utah tomorrow night at 7 on the Pac-12 network. Saturday's Colorado-Washington State game also picked up by ESPN2. That's at 5 o'clock. Gonzaga and Pacific in Spokane can be seen on Root Sports at 7 o'clock. The women's schedule doesn't resume until Friday for Pac-12 and for the WCC. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard in the NHL. Tons of actions yesterday and tons of close games. Jack Hughes scored 2 of New Jersey's 3 goals in the second period as the Devils topped the Rangers 4-3. Brian Elliott made 40 saves for the Flyers in a 3-zip win over the Buffalo Sabres in Philadelphia. Frank Vetrano scored .250 in overtime to lift Florida over Chicago 5-4. The legend Sidney Crosby scored the game winner a minute 11 into overtime to give Pittsburgh a 5-4 win over Washington. Nikolai Ehlers decided it in overtime with a goal 22, or make that 220 into the overtime session, giving Winnipeg a 4-3 win over Ottawa. Detroit and Columbia also went into OT before Tyler Bertuzzi won it for the Red Wings 3-2. And in the a late game last night. Colorado skated past LA Kings 3-2. Only 5 games fill the slate today for the NHL as the Oilers visit the Maple Leafs. St. Louis entertains San Jose. The Wild skated Anaheim at 6:30. The Canucks host the Canadiens at 7, and the Coyotes visit Vegas also at 7 o'clock. Well, as the Mariners prepare for spring training in just a few weeks, the organization announced a way for fans to get closer. Virtually, anyway. Seattle will host a virtual baseball bash featuring 60 events with access to an assortment of 60 Mariner players, coaches, scouts, front office staff, broadcasters, and other personnel. This includes manager Scott Service, general manager Jerry DiPoto, as well as players like Kyle Lewis, J.P. Crawford, and Evan White. Now, there's quite a buzz about the Mariners heading into this season with a plethora of good young talent. General manager Jerry DiPoto says the plan is to continue bringing those players along and see how the youngsters do and see how the season pans out. He says fans can expect this team to compete well in the American League.
I feel like the next steps for this team are to continue to integrate the young players to this roster. We feel like there are another handful who are not far off. We'll see once we get down to Peoria and as we progress into the season, but a handful of our more polished or advanced prospects that will have an opportunity in 21. First and foremost, it's to gain that experience, to continue to grow the base with the guys that I mentioned earlier, Chef and Kyle and Evan and the like, and then introduce the next group with the idea that if things break well for us and we get into midsummer and we stay close to this thing and we do have an opportunity to sneak up on the back of the playoff field, that's a possibility for us and would be a goal. It's young teams tend to gel quicker than you might think. We can't go in expecting that we're going to run to the top of the American League West, but I think we can set the goal of competing for a playoff spot, and we'll see how it goes. And if we take a step toward that in 2021, I think that would be a great achievement for our organization.
By the way, fans who want to access content through the Baseball Bash can just head online, Mariners.com, or search Mariners on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all types of social media there. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with our friend Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Instead of previewing Thursday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., I'm going to let my Magic 8 Ball do it for me. Oh, Magic 8 Ball, how will tomorrow's show go? And the answer is, without a doubt, which means I have to be here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Also, I didn't win the lottery, so I'm going to be here tomorrow at 7 a.m., and we hope that you join us as well. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Bayes and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.